Hello, literature lovers. Today, as you can see, I'm discussing Aristotle and his major work, that's Poetics, and I'll try to discuss some other writers also related to that period. So, here's discussion about Aristotle, and it's with the help of Mr. Thompson, talking about his early life and things related to it, how he was born, Macedonia, his mother, and you can see it's really good background. Talking about his schooling, and that was also quite exclusive. Not many people get chance to such schooling process, and as we all know, his was related with Plato. So in Plato's academy, he really got high class education according to that period. And since Plato died in 347, and after that he almost controlled the association and his relation with Athens. So we all know that education hub of that time, Athens, was also sophisticated, and it's really important phenomena related to it. So, and his teachings and his way of doing things was really pioneer, and he, at his point of view, changed the things accordingly, and how he started thinking, and not only literature, but he quite influenced other fields like physics and psychology, and it is really his work that led to that era of critical thinking, and he's really considered one of the great father of criticism, and he's the one who started criticizing works in different manner and recognized the genre on an whole, and not talking about his famous work Poetics, and taking help of Mr. Robinson and how he explained it. So almost all of us literature related people have to read it, and me personally finished it myself by teaching another student in my class. So since I have quite current emphasis about it, and the way he portrayed and discussed things, I personally like it, and especially the era which he used to treat and the era which he belonged, it was really much more ahead of his time, and it is still quite relevant according to me. I think it's his works are still very relevant, and the way he talk about the things, I'm referring others also, and with their help I started analyzing the way he thinks, and if you study this you can become a better poet, writer, author, storyteller, essay writer, and all these things will be helpful for you if you start studying. And we can also criticize his work, but the analysis is quite definitive, and talking about the plot also, since movies are also part of it, so we can use these sides, and the way he portrayed it is phenomenal, and his definition can give you an overview how we can understand, taking examples of that old law, and these Greek words like including anagrosis, hamartia, and peripecia need to be understood for better understanding of the characters and the story. And if you want to become a writer or related people, literature, explanation, thinker, then all these things are important. for the better outcome, and they help you in better understanding. Now, the famous word most of us are aware of, the catharsis thing, and it's important. And the very famous movie based on this word is Purge. You all know about it. It's quite famous and it's got many other parts. And catharsis, all these three words which I have already mentioned, catharsis, peripecia, and anagrosis, all are important for the explanation purpose. And as I have already discussed that psychiatry is also one of his genres. That's the reason why Sigmund Freud and his relatives are also interpreting it, and they discuss Aristotle on a whole for the better understanding of psychiatry, psychology, and these are the references which are important and need to be taken into consideration. And talking about theoretically is quite different, but when it happens on the stage, then you have to understand the whole criteria, how it matters and how we can clearly talk about it. According to that pattern, you have to see how tragic and tragedy and how the difference is there, and on the stage the whole things becomes quite different. We have limited sources according to it, and these are the references that I would like to give, and you can see in the sites. Thanks.